Hey dolls, welcome or welcome back. If you are new here, I am LaShawn, and on this channel, LaShawn will blow your mind. No. On this channel, I like to focus on DIY, affordable home design, decor, and most importantly, saving you money. And in this video, I'm trying to save your home from looking cheap and ugly.
What?
And all of the above.
That is funny.
This is not meant to be mean girl commentary. This is grown woman with experience commentary, okay? Some people are gonna be a little bit butt sore. I have also been guilty of making some of these mistakes in the past, so I am not without scars. I'm saying this with love, Now, I know some people are going to get their feelings hurt. Some of the things that I say will be controversial, but I'm going to say them anyway. All right, let's go ahead and jump into this design conversation about these trends, my pet peeves, the things that give me the ick when it comes to design, and really a lot of the things that we are doing wrong. Y'all. Let's jump into this video. All right, guys, let's go.
Hold up.
Okay, so let's just jump right out the window for this very first one. It is something that has been so popular, especially one of the trends last year, and I can't stand it. And I have been dying to tell you guys, I just didn't have the right opportunity or video to be able to go into it. So that's why I'm glad we're having these design conversations today. So the one that I hate, I despise it. I cannot stand it. So I don't know if you did this in your house, I'm sorry. I'm not gonna keep apologizing. I'll put my disclaimer out there already. If you have done this, I'm sorry, but color drenching. I cannot stand that trend. Your walls, your ceilings, your trim, why? Why? I know that this may be controversial and I may hurt some people's feelings, but this is just my opinion. I don't feel like the same color needs to go everywhere. So I am going to be giving you guys some visuals about what I mean. So let me just go ahead and show you what I'm talking about. I feel like it flattens the room. There is no visual relief. It makes a small room feel even smaller. It just darkens the room and makes it feel claustrophobic. You see what I'm saying? Just because you can paint it all the same color doesn't mean that you have to. This is the same thing like when it comes to clothes. Just because they make it in your size doesn't mean you have to wear it. Let's use these rooms as an example, and I'm showing them to you for their ceiling and the trim. What I want you to notice here is how they are treated as part of the design. The ceiling is incorporated to relieve compression by intentionally breaking up the colors. Like in this room, you can do an accent color. You can also incorporate architectural trim, even faux beams on the ceilings, decorative things. In this case, this room was fully color drenched, but I chose to paint the ceiling white and introduce a wood trim instead, and to me that change makes a significant difference, especially side by side. The version that is broken up feels lighter, more balanced, and far more visually pleasing. But I'm curious, which one would you prefer? Okay, next let's get into my second design pet peeve or trend that I cannot stand, and it's been around for a while, low furniture. I mean, is it that backs and knees don't matter anymore? When it comes to these low profile sofas and chairs, it just feels like they give no consideration to knee replacements, back issues, aging bodies, tall people or long legs. It just feels like we don't matter. There's a whole group of people out here who are trying to fight for their life to get out of a chair. Furniture should not require hope and a prayer, momentum and help just to get out of it. Like, look at this chair, for instance. It's gorgeous, but look at the height. It's only 16.5 inches tall. Same thing here. Really nice chair. I love it. But I would have to change the legs. It is just too short. Now, I went online and I found some images, and I want to go ahead and show you guys what I would do differently. This is easy. Legs. I don't know what's going on with this company or why they would make a chair like that, but are the legs extra? I don't get it. But if it works for you, that's beautiful. I love that for you. But I don't want to have to plan my exit before I even sit down. So low furniture, it's going to be a hard no. This naturally brings me into my next design gripe, which is boneless furniture. And I know, oops, sorry, Mike. I know some of you guys are probably like, boneless furniture, what's that? Well, let me explain. Okay, because this is where the line starts to blur a little bit between boneless furniture and low furniture, because they tend to overlap and share the same space. You see what I mean? Look at this chair. It's low, but it's also boneless. There's no visible structure, no legs, no real framework supporting it. And I am seriously trying to understand, when did a box of oversized blocks of foam show up and get passed off as furniture? So while these foam feather pieces might look trendy or relaxing, structurally they are doing very little, because this cheap foam breaks down quickly, it compresses, loses its shape, and any support it might have had disappears. Same goes for all those damn feathers and all the people who got caught up in that whole cloud couch hype. This is not just opinion, this is fact. So let's listen to some of the actual buyers and what they had to say after owning it.
It does not matter how clean my house is, because I have a cloud couch. And it will always look disgusting. When it looks bad, it's bad. When it looks good, it's good. But most of the time, it's bad. And everyone in the comments is like, you gotta knock off. That's why it looks like that. It's not the real one. I have a real one. I have the real cloud couch. 99% of the time, it looks like trash.
Everybody said get the cloud couch. Let me show you guys how the cloud couch look 90% of the time. Like that, all beat up looking, tore up. These pillows are very flimsy. They easily to be moved, and it's just crazy. So you gotta beat them up and like just shake them to get them back to shape.
I'm so tired of this cloud couch with like the feathers in it. It never looks good. What actually is this? What kind of fucking cushion? Like, this is a piece of shit.
So if you're thinking about buying something like this, don't do it. Let's get something more like this, more sturdy, more structurally sound, and some honorable mentions. These drawers, no bueno. And this furniture, it's frail bones. It looks cheap. And then some people will buy this, but I don't trust it. I mean, if you're under 40, knock yourself out. But if you're over 40, let's go with some legs, some more structure, and then we'll be good to go. We're not kids anymore. I feel like low profile furniture and some of this boneless furniture could probably live in a space where you're going to be low to the ground anyway. So like maybe a meditation space, a kids play area, but yeah, the beanbag chairs, the blow up furniture, the cut it open and let it, like, it's not a mattress. Like, if it's supposed to be a mattress, let it be a mattress, not furniture. And like I said, nobody wants to have to like rock back and forth to get up off of your furniture. Now, don't get me wrong. Some of these chairs are slick and I love them. However, they need to have higher legs for one. But if you are going to use them and you want them in your home because they just look nice, then yeah, put them off to the corner. Put them in a space where they feel more like art, like just a decoration, like an accessory, as opposed to furniture that is functional. Have it there if it makes you happy. But when it comes to functionality, yeah, no, no. Okay, let's move on. Now guys, some things are just wrong, like dead wrong. Now, I didn't want to make a separate individual category for each one of these things, so we're gonna touch on them real quick because I think that you guys may have heard these before, but let me just go ahead and throw them out there one more again. And what I want to do is show you visually what I would do in some of these spaces, the things that I would change. What I did was I went online, I found some images that were just wrong, plain and simple. And then I went ahead and I redesigned these spaces. So I want to show you what I did. So at first glance, you're like, what's wrong with the room, Sean? And I'm like, let me show you how my brain works. The curtains are hung too low. The nightstands don't know what they're doing. The rug, the fan, the mirror, all boring. So let's go ahead and switch it up. Now we got everything over on the other wall. We have room for artwork above the bed. The nightstands look good. The fan is really cool. The mirror is larger. The curtains are up high where they should be. We have room for an accent chair. And what about that beautiful rug that I designed to anchor the whole entire thing? Now it's more visually pleasing. What do you think? Tell me in the comments. One thing that I find a lot is lack of utilization in your space or storage. So utilization does not always equate to storage. I'm just saying the way that you use your space, the way that it functions, the flow, all of those things can tie into good design or bad design. So I want to touch on a couple of things. So for instance, look at this room right here. Now I get it. Some people want to be minimalist, and that's fine if that's your thing. However, you can tell that the way that this family lives, there are children in the home, but they have space that they are not utilizing properly. So here's what I would have done. Okay, so I think the most obvious thing would be to give them a larger rug, but also then on the other side of that room, I would give them some storage units so that the kids could actually put their stuff away on their own if you add some baskets to it. Now, if I had more money, I would switch the whole thing around. I would pivot the couch the other way, have more visual to the TV. You also have separated the kids area from the adult area, but you still have that storage. So on either side of the window, I have now flanked it with artwork and bookcases. And then in the center of the window, I have added a storage bench. So now more functionality because you have a bench there. And I also think that adding a plant, the curtains up high, gives you a more visually appealing room as well as a more functional room. Do you see it now? Let me know. Now I understand. Not everybody cares about design. I get it. But if you're gonna go through all the trouble of putting things in a room, then placement matters. Dimensions, scale matters. So let's take a look at this other one. Now look at this room. It looks like nothing mattered in this room. Not the scale, not the placement. It just looks like everything you found in the garage and just threw it in that room. Let's go ahead and switch it up. Now we've added some slat walls, some wallpaper in the center. We've anchored the entire room with a nice big printed rug, a tufted ottoman. We've added some color, a nice big mirror. These are all things that you can do on a budget. Even hanging lights from the ceiling you can do with battery operated lighting, and then also giving it some really cute, nice, substantial nightstands. This is another one of my pet peeves, real quick. People are buying nightstands that are way too small for the space. So again, I took some images off the internet. Let me show you what I did. So I purposely chose this room so that I can go ahead and add in some nightstands to show you guys what not to do. These look dwarfed. You actually need some nightstands that are bigger, that can actually hang out with your headboard. You want something that's about the same height of your mattress, maybe even a little bit taller. And then I also did the same thing in this room. However, I wanted to add more color to this room. So I added some colorful nightstands, added some color in a pillow and in the artwork. However, what I don't want you to do is, I just have to put this out there because as I was searching for things to use for this video, I came across these nightstands that have these glowy lights and neon lights, and like I think that's okay if you're putting it in a teenager's room or child's room. Like when I did the supervisor's room, my grandson, if you haven't seen that video, make sure you go and check it out. When I did his room, neon, great. He had a car room, it made sense. I get it. Like there's a place for it, but I am pretty sure I know my audience, and I know that the majority of us are in a season in our lives where neon furniture, neon lit up, all of this, like, no, we're not doing that. Like someone mentioned in the comments when I did my living room makeover that I should put lights underneath my cabinets in the living room. Because they look like they're floating and there should be lights underneath. And I'm like, trying to be very, very polite about it, but no, this is not a disco. I'm not in that kind of a mode where I want loud lights. Just no, I want my lights to be warm. I want my house to feel inviting. I don't want it to feel like a bar or a nightclub. So that's gonna be a hard no for me. I only did lights around my TV when I was in Mexico, and to be honest with you, I did it, and then after that I removed it. I never even used it. So yeah, it was good for content, but I'm gonna be completely honest with you, you do not need neon lights underneath your furniture, around your furniture, and stuff like that. Yeah, it looks good around some people's televisions, but just as an accent light. But on your nightstands, you do not need neon lights. Nightstands do not need to glow or blink or change colors or do anything that's going to impact your nervous system. When you're going to bed, you're there to relax. And those lights are just as bad as the lights on your television and on your phone and on your computer when you're going to bed. And you guys all know that's bad. I'm guilty of it, but I definitely don't want my nightstand to feel like a nightclub. It keeps your brain on high alert, like excited, like something is getting ready to happen, something exciting, and nothing is getting ready to happen. Nothing is getting ready to happen. So no neon lights next to your bed. My next design ick is matchy. You do not have to buy everything in that collection. You also do not have to match your rug to your sofa, to your curtains, to your pillows, to your artwork. Everything does not have to look like you purchased it with one click. These feel like rooms with no soul, no story, no personality. As if you didn't take any time to curate a space in your home that speaks to you. But instead, it feels like a social media trend, one of those copy-paste things that went horribly wrong. If your space looks just like mine or some other content creator or the website that you ordered it from or the showroom that you bought it from, then you have to ask yourself, is this really me? Am I showing up in my space? Because I can promise you, the energy in your rooms will never feel quite right. And that's because you are not represented in your own space. So let's take a look at this room again. Who would do this? I don't know, but let's change it. So now we're gonna add a nice bold rug in there that I designed. I love this one. We have some browns, some creams, some gold. They all work very well with that nice deep purple. We've added some lighting along the artwork, painted the ceiling back to a nice white color along with the beams. They are a different color now. We added some plants, so we got some livelihood going on in here. We added a pedestal in the corner. We also changed the flowers on the coffee table. So it, to me, looks so much better. Okay, let's do another one. I'm sure you guys have all seen this. The dresser matches the mirror, matches the nightstand, matches the headboard, and also matches the goddamn door and the fan. Let's switch it up. We got some nice bold textured wallpaper on that wall. We're gonna add a nice white oak dresser, an arched mirror with some movement. We've tied the lamps into the fan. And now to me, you can take some of these generic pieces and actually switch them up. Moving right along. I know you guys have heard me say this before because I've said it several times. One of my design pet peeves is hanging your TV too high, especially when there is already a existing mantle and fireplace in that space. This is not a trend. This is a neck injury waiting to happen. If you have to tilt your head back like this, tilt, like if you have to do that, your TV is too high. If you have a mantle and a fireplace, those are already statement pieces in your room. They are already visual focal points in your room. And then you go and slap this big black box over it. Some people like that. Some people are like, I have no place else to put the TV. I get it. I really do. But I don't know. I'm not a fan of it. And that's exactly why I did things the way that I did them in this house. Now, if you have a huge movie theater screen like the one that I have, then I'm not talking to you, because that thing is going to take up the majority of your wall anyway. You just have to make sure that your furniture is far enough back for you to be able to enjoy it. And that goes for any television. Now, if you have a low console or a low fireplace like the one that I have, then, you know, go for it. Your TV shouldn't end up that high. But also there can be situations where people have a fireplace low, but then they get the scale of the TV wrong, like this, for instance. If you look at it, the TV looks top heavy. The fireplace looks too small. So I'm gonna change it so that the fireplace doesn't feel dwarfed in the space. Now, I understand that not everybody can change the size of their fireplace, but you can always add things on the bottom to make it feel more visually heavy and balanced. So how's that? Like, that looks so much better, don't you think? I mean, and then like if you add things around it and all of that stuff, like I think it looks good. If you're liking the video so far, do me a favor, go ahead and hit that like button. You can always pause and leave me a comment. If you are watching on your television, go find your phone or your laptop and drop your girl a little, you know, a couple hearts or something like that. All right, let's move on. I am going to go ahead and double down, and that is when you're hanging your TV up high, on top of making sure that you get the height and the scale right for your wall mounted TVs, or even if you're just standing it there. My other thing where I said I was going to double down on is hiding the cords. Please make sure that you hide your cords. I said in a video one time, cord management, so many times, and didn't realize until I was editing that I had said it that many times. And it was so funny because one of the co-stars, she just wrote her comment, it just said cord management. And when I read it, I was dying laughing because I knew that she had picked up on how many times I said cord management. So there are some ways around this. Let's go ahead and look at that. So this is one of the things that I've used a lot. These are the cord cover kits, and they are paintable. You can buy the ones that have the corners so you can fit the angles around your baseboards and such. I like the way they did this here. The fireplace is smaller, but the box is actually larger, so it doesn't feel small. Now, in this video, you can see how she's doing one of the other kits, and this one you actually have to drill a hole for, so it's not as renter friendly if you don't know how to patch up a hole. But check out what she did. I think this is actually very brilliant, and I have done this before myself. Hide it behind a plant. Your TV does not need to look like it's on life support. In the townhouse that I was living in, from what I understand, the property manager said that the person who lived there before me had the TV over the fireplace, and I was like, well, how? Like, how? And it was in a corner. But yeah, no, I ended up putting that TV on another wall and made it so that the space worked for me. And obviously it worked, because that video is over 750,000 views at this point, and you guys love that video. So I don't know, I don't think that living room is better than this living room in this house, but that's just my opinion. Okay, let's go ahead and move on. Okay, so this next one is a big one. This is probably one of my biggest design pet peeves. And I have to say this because I'm very, very passionate about it, but that's why I saved this one for last. I kind of touched on this a little bit earlier with the matchy, but if you have been half-assed listening to this video, do me a favor, stop what you're doing and hear me when I say this. Stop letting influencers, including me, rush your home. You do not need to buy everything that I show you. You do not need to keep up with every single DIY that I do. You do not need to rush your home. Let me go ahead and go a little bit deeper. I cannot stand some of these influencers who keep on rotating the same script in their videos week after week after week. Amazon must-haves. Oh my God, I'm so obsessed. You have to have this. I can't live without it. That's funny because we were doing just fine last week living without it. Are they even living in the same world that we're living in? I feel like a lot of them are insensitive to what's happening in the world right now. A lot of people are struggling, broke, stressed out, depressed. There is so much going on in the world right now, and I understand you guys tune into these videos in order to, take you away from all the BS that's going on in the world. I understand. I'm here to entertain you, but I'm also here to let you know that I am fully aware of what is going on. If I put something in the description, if I drop a link below, that does not mean that you have to rush and go buy it. Do whatever is comfortable for you. Like, if you can afford to do this and just spend money and waste money or whatever it is, and you feel like you have to keep up with the Joneses, that's just never been my thing, then bless your heart. But I just want you to know that you don't have to do this. You don't have to have every single thing. Everything that I put in my description box, you don't have to have. All of the links that I have down there, they are for reference for those of you who want to try certain things. And I certainly am not going to just put things out there that I don't feel strongly about. You guys know that. There are so many brands that reach out to me on a daily basis. I don't work with them. I don't want to promote them. I work with brands that I know I am aligned with and that I know my audience is going to align with. So I'm not here to just throw things at you and be like, yeah, buy this, buy this, buy this. Like, that's never been my thing. You guys know I'm never going to be that person. Do I have to pay my bills? Yes. Does it help me to work with brands? Yes. Does it help support my channel and what I do? Absolutely. But I don't want you guys to feel pressured by me or any of these other influencers. And I mean that with my whole chest. I mean that. So I am giving you permission to slow down. Do not feel pressured by the internet. Do what you can and do it in your own time. Make sure it's meaningful to you and that it's going to bring you joy, because that is really, really important. Okay? Okay. Oh, before we go, I need to be fully transparent about my Amazon influencer account. So I did go ahead and remove all of my Amazon links from videos, but I may have had them in the videos where people might still see them. So if you're new here and you are going through my other videos and binging, you might see my Amazon link pop up at the bottom of a video. I have removed it from my description, and I wasn't even aware what was going on until a couple of you guys reached out and said that you were trying to click onto my Amazon store and it wasn't working. Well, come to find out, Amazon had sent me 2 emails and I failed to see them because I'm busy, and they went into my junk email anyway. So there was a discrepancy that I needed to correct. I didn't correct it in time, and so they took my store away from me, told me that I needed to reapply. Now, you guys know I spent so much time after every video. You would see that in the descriptions of my videos, I would have my Amazon store link, which would lead you to like mood boards and things like that for you guys to be able to get the same type of vibe, like not exactly what I have, but you know, you might want to see something like, oh, I like this lamp, or oh, I like that blanket or that pillow, whatever. So I spent so much time curating my Amazon storefront. I am so mad because they told me I could not get my store back. I could not even see the products so that it would be easier for me to just go ahead and link them. Like, no, everything is gone. So I'm done. I'm not doing it again. I went ahead and opened up my Walmart influencer account because they've been asking me to be part of the Walmart. However, I just want to let you guys know the Amazon links, all of that stuff, I no longer have an Amazon storefront, so I won't be making any commission off of any of those links that I put for Amazon. For Walmart, I will, and until I get that done, please make sure that you always check below the description where you will see things linked at the bottom. Anything that you see linked at the bottom of my videos, I do get a commission for. So if you guys do click on that, it does help me out. It does keep the lights on and help me pay my bills. If you are new here and this is your first time watching, do me a favor, give me a chance, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. And with that said, I will see you in the next video. You know what's next. I love you.